Okay.
Now, Silk, they've been doing so-called death by 1,000 cuts. You have 4 criminal things. You have his civil things. Do you think Donald Trump's going to escape from this, what I look like an orchestrated plan to be like, okay, now this criminal case, this criminal case, this criminal case, and then all the civil. Do you think that Donald Trump is going to outlast what all these attacks in the courts?
I
Silk?
certainly do. I certainly do, because we're the victims. Who are the victims? I mean, the only person that claiming to be a victim
Well,
didn't even do no
which
business
case?
with President Trump. Exactly. Which case?
Well, in
Which
the New
case?
York one, well, in the New York one, what it all boils down to is this. For obtaining loans from the bank,
Mm-hmm.
what Trump did is he had an inflated cost, or maybe it's the market cost, the market value of the properties. And off of that market value of those properties, he took loans out from the bank, repaid them, absolutely repaid them, and so on. On the same property, on tax returns, they were a fraction. He recorded a fraction of that value. So Mar-a-Lago, for example, was at 18 million on the tax return and 480 million or 500 million on the papers to get the loan.
Mm-hmm.
Therein is what Letitia James is saying is the fraud.
Okay. So who did he defraud? Who's the victim? Who did he hurt? Everything that you just explained, he paid
Right.
back plus interest. Okay. He didn't defraud Letitia James. She did no business with him. She didn't take out no loan with President Donald J. Trump. This right here is what we call railroading. That's what they're doing. Okay. So he can beat this, because the loans and the different things that they're talking about, all of that's in the past. That's done and over with. The banks came in and said, oh, wait, he was the best customer. We'd be glad to loan him more money. He paid us back plus interest. So who is the victim?
Silk,
Huh?
you are highly intelligent.
I mean,
Silk, you're wonderful.
Well, the victim would be the bank.
but the bank ain't suing President Trump.
I know, because they want his continued business. But
And
the
he
victim
paid them
would be the
back.
bank.
The
And
the
then, of
victim.
course, the victim would also be the taxpayers, because frankly, if these listing properties at a fraction of the value on his tax returns, then he's not paying that tax on those properties,
Uh-huh.
and therefore the taxpayers would be the victim. So,
Okay.
and
Now
and,
let's
and
say
in
that
that
what you
case,
say.
and just to bring this out, in that particular case in New York, he's already been found guilty of it. This whole trial is to find out how much they're going to whack him with a penalty.
All right. Let's just say that everything that you just stated was actually true. All
Okay.
right. Let's say that he got a loan, and on the loan he inflated his properties. Let's say all of that different stuff.
Right.
But when he pay his taxes, he got to pay his taxes at the county. They've already gotten allocated how much that property is. So he might
Right.
have wrote something over here, but he still got to pay the right taxes over there. All right.
Right.
There's still not a victim anywhere. Okay. There's no victim to the taxpayers, because the county is already saying, sir, this is how much this property is valued at, and this is your taxes. Okay.
Right.
So that's just like me going to get a house, a mortgage loan. And I say that I have all of these assets when I don't. But guess what? They give me the loan anyway. I paid the loan back plus interest. This is 10, 15 years down the road. Everybody's happy.
Right.
Nobody is complaining. So what you coming after me for? Because I still paid my taxes from the county. I still paid my tax bill. Okay.
Right.
Once again, the thing about him being found guilty, he's being railroaded, because there is no crime here. There is no victim here. And see, if you don't know the law, if you don't know what's really truly going on, you would sit back and think, oh my God, he defrauded this one. He defrauded that. How can you defraud somebody when you pay them back with
Okay.
interest?
it's like an example that I was telling Gene. And okay, so for example, we live in this town,
Yeah.
and the speed limit in the town is 35 miles an hour. No one drives 35, everyone drives 55 or 60. That's
Mm-hmm.
just how it is. The current sheriff realizes that, and that's fine. New sheriff comes to town who doesn't like one particular guy, catches that guy driving 60. Everybody else is driving 60, but arrests that one guy and prosecutes him for driving 60 miles an hour or 25 miles over the speed limit.
Mm-hmm.
That, in essence, is what's happening with President Trump in New York.
No, it's not.
Every single,
No, what's your name, Dave?
yeah,
Sweetheart, no, it's not. Because
okay,
this person that's driving right now, he's driving right now at 60 miles. The sheriff didn't go back 10 years and say, because you was driving 60 miles 10 years ago, we're going to prosecute you. What they're doing to President Trump, they're going back 10, 15, 20, even 30 years to say, you did this. Now we're going to prosecute you. If it was a problem back then, he should have been prosecuted back then. All right. Not wait no 15, 20 years later and then come and say, oh, we went through this paperwork and you put the wrong number here. You allocated that wrong. Wait a minute. That's a done deal. That's over with. There is no victim here. The bank is not complaining about this. The bank won't know President Donald J. Trump's business. Now, for the person that's driving the car, you got to do the speed limit. When you know there's a new sheriff in town, you got to have him get used to what you've been used to doing. All right. But if you get them right now, then that's what you're going to get, because the speed limit said 30 and you was going 60 as of right now. But the sheriff ain't going to go back 15, 20 years and say, oh, I see here that you've been driving 60 miles per hour in the 30-mile zone. We're going to go back 15, 20 years and we're going to lock you up for what you did back then. It don't work like that, babe.
all right.
All right. Well done. Oh my goodness. I never
That was
thought I
good.
would see this. Okay.
Uh-huh.
Wow, that's impressive. All right. So,
Yeah.
oh my goodness. You are amazing.